warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I am Pratiksha Mishra and here are today's top stories. Darjeeling Himalayan Railway captures hearts and history. Baloch Advocacy Centre shines global spotlight on atrocities in Balochistan. And flood crisis in POGB highlights Pakistan's brutal neglect. Let's begin the show. India offers a vibrant tapestry of experiences for travellers, blending history, culture and natural beauty. Among its most enchanting attractions is the Darjeeling Toy Train, a UNESCO World Heritage marvel. Chugging along narrow gorge tracks through mist-laden hills, Emeralty Gardens and quaint villages, this charming train ride feels like stepping into a living postcard. With every turn, it unveils panoramic views of the majestic Himalayas, evoking a sense of nostalgia and wonder that few journeys can match. So let's embark on this magical ride into the heart of the hills.
The Darjeeling Toy Train, also known as the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, chugs along narrow gauge tracks through the mist-laden hills like a whimsical ribbon of steam, whispering tales to the drifting clouds. This enchanting journey remains a timeless attraction, drawing visitors from across India and around the world to experience its old charm and breathtaking vistas. Inaugurated in 1881, a time when British engineers dared to carve railway tracks into the Himalayas. Recognized as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the toy train is a tribute to human ingenuity. It holds the distinction of operating the highest railway station in India, Ghum, perched at an elevation of 7,407 feet.
1881 में एक फुल फ्लेज रेलवे के रूप में हमारे सामने थी। शुरू में तो इसको सिर्फ माल ढुलाई के लिए ही यूज़ किया जाता था। चाय बागानों का लाइफलाइन हुआ करती थी उस समय ये रेलवे, लेकिन समय के साथ साथ ये चाय बागानों से ज़्यादा दार्जिलिंग के लोगों की लाइफलाइन बन गई और 1999 में ये विश्व की मात्र दूसरी ऐसी रेलवे बनी जो वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट थी।
The toy train at Darjeeling Station whistled nostalgia into air as it begins its rhythmic uphill climb to Ghum. Midway, it pauses at Bataisa Loop, a marvel of colonial railway engineering, where the tracks spiral gracefully to navigate the steep terrain. Here tourists step out to soak in breathtaking panoramic views of snow-capped Himalayan peaks, a magical moment where history and nature come together in perfect harmony.
अरे बहुत मतलब अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत ही खुशी हो रही है। सो हैपनिंग, मतलब इतना अच्छा व्यू, इतनी अच्छी अपनी टॉय ट्रेन, इतना अच्छा व्यू इसका हमारा दार्जिलिंग का। सो हैप्पी। सुना है, बहुत किताबों में पढ़ा है बहुत, लेकिन एक इच्छा थी कि हाँ देखे, यहाँ आके दिल खुश हो गया।
टॉय ट्रेन इज़ वेरी गुड एंड इट्स अ हेरिटेज ऑफ आवर कंट्री। और जैसे कि ये एक बहुत, दिस इज़ द हाईएस्ट घूम स्टेशन, राइट। एंड अभी हम जिस पे गति थे बतीसा पे, वो एक फौजी के ऊपर है ना, तो एक उसके ऊपर भी वो हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा वहाँ पे जाके। अच्छा मेमोरियल है, वो बहुत अच्छा बना हुआ है और वहाँ पे भी कल्चर एक प्रेजेंट करता है पूरा दार्जिलिंग का।
The steam locomotive is a star attraction of Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, and its upkeep is no small feat. The crucial task is handled by the Tinharia Locomotive, Carriage and Wagon Workshop, the engineering heart of Darjeeling Himalayan Railways. Established over a century ago, this historic workshop keeps the legacy alive by restoring vintage steam engine, refurbishing elegant coaches and showcasing models that trace the evolution of steam and diesel locomotives. A working pistol model even reveals the magic behind rhythmic chug, a tribute to motion, heritage, and craftsmanship.
Toy train comes here, then it goes to different shop, and different parts of toy train comes for repair. And in machine shop, we modify the different parts so that our the operator, sirs and all, they do the machine work. I help them and I assist them regarding their work. We follow UNESCO guidelines, and here work environment is very friendly. And women also, we take part, in previous time only the men used to work in the workshop, like do physical job or doing job in machines. But nowadays, women's also, here also we have many women in different shops.
At the heart of the Bataisa Loop stands the Gorkha War Memorial, honoring brave soldiers of the region. As the toy train rolled past, it offers a silent salute, a poignant movement of pride and remembrance. The journey ends at Ghum, India's highest railway station. Nearby, the Ghum Museum showcases the legacy of the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway through models, photographs, and artifacts. As part of its outreach, Darjeeling Himalayan Railway offers free ride to school children, inspiring the next generation to cherish the engineering marvel.
Main reason for the tourist attraction is due to the heritage trains we are running out here. We are the structures, the architectural structures out here. All those are heritage structures only. So that has been the major reason.
In the age of high-speed trains and digital convenience, the Darjeeling toy train stands as a timeless relic, still puffing steam, still winding through the mountains, and still capturing hearts. It is not just about the destination, it's about the charm, nostalgia, and wonder it's trailed along the way.
The Balochistan province of Pakistan continues to witness widespread human rights violations, including enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and military crackdowns. Activists and civilians face constant intimidation with little to no accountability as demands for justice and autonomy are met with brutal state repression. A large number of Baloch political activists who have migrated to Europe and other countries continue to raise their voices, urging international intervention to stop Pakistan's atrocities against the Baloch people. We have this report.
When we laid the foundation of Baloch Education Study Center in May 2025, our team committed to a research-driven advocacy approach to highlight and address the various human rights challenges faced by the Baloch people in Iran and Pakistan. This seminar was a direct reflection of that mission. The seminar featured detailed presentations prepared by BASQ's research department, focusing on extrajudicial executions and enforced disappearances of Baloch individuals throughout 2024.
The event featured a dedicated session on Pakistan, where human rights groups have long documented a grim pattern of military operations, land seizures, and the enforced disappearances of students, journalists, and political activists in Balochistan. Hassan Hamdam, Vice President of BASC, traced the deep historical roots of this state-led repression, while Director of Research Khurshid Ahmed presented new data revealing a disturbing trend. Many of the disappeared are young professionals and university students, targeted solely for their ethnic identity and political beliefs. According to BSC's findings, Pakistani security agencies are using enforced disappearances as a tool of collective punishment, not just silencing individuals but terrorizing entire families, villages, and communities.
We say that the foreign interference is responsible for the appalling human rights situation in the region and portray a false image that the people in Balochistan enjoy peace and have access to human rights and services. We are here to challenge those narratives on the basis of reasoning, data, and evidence.
Amnesty International, along with 4 other prominent human rights organizations, has recently called on Pakistan to end its campaign of harassment and arbitrary detention targeting Baloch human rights defenders, particularly in the troubled province of Balochistan. In a joint appeal to Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, the groups demanded the immediate release of detained activists and an end to the brutal crackdown on peaceful dissent. With over 500 enforced disappearances documented in 2023 alone, they warned that Pakistan is flagrantly violating its international human rights obligations and urged transparent investigations and accountability. Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in our segment called Asia Watch.
Weary of paying big bills for power supplies that are often cut off, wheat grower Abdallah Al-Ali is among the rising number of farmers to have turned to solar panels to keep their irrigation systems running during the searing heat of the Iraqi summer. A member of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and one of the world's leading oil producers, Iraq has struggled to provide its citizens with energy since the 2003 US-led invasion that toppled Saddam Hussein. In the ensuing turmoil, underinvestment and mismanagement have left the national grid unable to cope with demand. Apart from its oil riches, Iraq has vast solar potential that the authorities say they will use to close the gap between supply and demand, at the same time reducing carbon emissions. The country has a plan to install 12 gigawatts of solar capacity by 2030, according to the Ministry of Electricity, which includes delivering a 1 gigawatt solar plant for Basra this year. Farmers across Nineveh can use both rooftop panels and ground-mounted arrays placed on farmland to power irrigation systems and supply household needs. In urban areas, panels are tightly packed on the flat roofs, which characterize Mosul homes to maximize energy generation. Israeli protesters blocked one of the main highways in Tel Aviv this week as they called on the government to facilitate a hostage deal and to end the Gaza war. Scuffles erupted between police officers and protesters as they began removing those blocking the road by force, labeling the protest illegal. The protest came after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with senior security officials to finalize a new strategy for the nearly 2-year-old war in Gaza. With media reporting he favored a complete military takeover of the Palestinian enclave. The videos released by Hamas and Islamic Jihad, showing hostages Evyatar David and Rom Breslavsky in deteriorating mental and physical health, raised concern among their families. According to Israeli officials, 50 hostages now remain in Gaza, only 20 of whom are believed to be alive. Hamas thus far has barred humanitarian organizations from having any kind of access to the hostages, and families have little or no details of their conditions. World Soccer governing body FIFA last month conducted the first of 3 planned talent identification camps for the Afghan women's refugee team in Sydney last week. The Afghan refugee team, whose creation was approved by FIFA in May, will be coached by former Scotland and Celtic forward Pauline Hamill. Hamill is set to announce a 23-player squad after the camps, with the team then taking part in FIFA-approved friendlies later this year. Since the Taliban returned to power in 2021, it has clamped down on the rights of women and girls. restricting their access to education and work, curbing their freedom of movement, and forcing them to cover their faces and bodies. Many players from the Afghanistan women's team fled the country at the time for fear of persecution. The women's team has since been unable to compete internationally, as FIFA rules require recognition by a national federation, with the Taliban-controlled Afghan Football Federation banning women's sports. The Taliban say they respect women's rights in accordance with their interpretation of Islamic law and local customs, and that internal matters should be addressed locally.
In a damning reflection of state failure, Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is reeling from devastating floods, yet once again, Islamabad's response is silence. Villages are submerged, roads have crumbled, and lives hang in the balance, but the cries for help go unanswered. The incompetence of the Pakistani government is laid bare as rescue and relief remain distant dreams. Broken roads, shattered bridges, and destroyed homes now stand as grim monuments to decades of neglect. This is more than a natural disaster. It's a man-made humanitarian crisis.
In a region battered by floods and forgotten by its rulers, Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan is witnessing the collapse of both infrastructure and faith. While the government flaunts empty claims on social media, the ground reality is devastating. Roads remain broken, excavators stand idle, and essential relief work is nowhere in sight. Locals have waited for more than 11 days, yet not a single sign of urgency can be seen. This destruction is not just from rising waters, it is the result of decades of broken promises, misplaced priorities, and a regime that has completely abandoned its people in their darkest hour.
हम तो सिर्फ फेसबुक पे ये देखते रहे कि काम हो रहा है पिछले 11 दिन गुजर गए तकरीबन 11 दिनों में ये आप पीछे दिखाएं ये रास्ता बनाए हैं बाकी जो काम करना है वो उसी तरह है अभी हम जब यहाँ से आ रहे थे तो पीछे वो जो पूल साफ़ कर रहे हैं हालांकि वहाँ तो काम करना ही फॉल है इधर काम करना चाहिए इनको जहाँ ये बेसिक काम करना है इन लोगों ने तो इन लोगों ने वो ये छोड़ के पीछे काम और मुकी साहब का कहना ये है कि दिन में 2 घंटे या 3 घंटे काम करके अभी एक्सवेटर कब से खड़ी है उधर जब से हम आए हैं हमें तकरीबन 1.5-2 घंटे हो गए एक्सवेटर वहाँ खड़ी है कोई काम नहीं हो रहा ना यहाँ कोई ठेकेदार है और मेरे आरी साहब से बात हुई थी आरी साहब ने कहा था कि यहाँ काम हो रहा है भाई वहाँ हमारे ठेकेदार लगे हैं तो ज़रा ये दिखा दें पीछे तक आरी साहब मुझे आप बता दें कि आपका ठेकेदार किधर है वो मशीन उधर खड़ी है अच्छा उसके पास वो ऑपरेटर भी अभी आया कोई बंदा उधर तो इस तरह अगर आपने हमें ये कहता है ना कि सरकार हमें उल्लू बना रहा है इस तरह उल्लू बना रहे हो तो मैं इस हिसाब से भी रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ अगर ये सिचुएशन में चलना है तो फिर हम अपना कोई स्ट्रेटजी बनाएंगे कल आपको दे देंगे लाके आपके ऑफिस में दे देंगे इंशाल्लाह हम इस पे काम करेंगे और इसी तरह नहीं छोड़ेंगे ये कोई लवारिस नहीं है हम कि यहाँ ना कोई सरकार है ना सरकार की ज़ात है हम इधर आए हैं भाई एक्सवेटर खड़ी की है आगे हमें बता रहे कि यार काम हो रहा है ये कोई तरीका तो नहीं लग रहा मुझे
Despite years of warnings, the crumbling infrastructure across POGP remains untouched. Locals pleaded with authorities to address dangerously weak structures, but their cries were met with silence. Today, as floods wreak havoc, roads are destroyed, bridges are unsafe, and entire communities are cut off. This devastation is not sudden. It is the deadly result of years of state indifference, where neglect, delay, and denial have replaced responsibility and action.
पहले से खराब थे आपने हुकूमत गिलगित बाल्टिस्तान पहले भी मुतालिबा किया था अगर यहाँ पे कोई नाखुशगवार वाक़या हो यहाँ पे कोई भी मसला हो तो इसका जिम्मेदार गिलगित इंतजामिया होती है सूबाई हुकूमत हो गई उस पुल के ऊपर पहले से भी खतरा मौजूद था पुल के 3 पिलर पहले से ऊंचे हुए थे आपने पिछले 3 साल से पेड़ और गिलगित ऊपर कंप्लेंट कर चुके हैं अभी तक इंतजामिया ने उसके ऊपर कोई पैसे का हिसाब नहीं किया अभी डिप्टी कमिश्नर गिलगित ने भी आपके मौके पे देखा असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर ने भी देखा आप मुतालिबा करते हैं इस जगह में अलर्ट जारी करें और पुल को भी सील किया जाए जब तक सैलाब कंप्लीट है और तक सैलाब का रेला पंचायत नहीं पहुंचे तक पुल को सील किया जाए।
Floods have devastated Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, laying bare the complete collapse of its infrastructure and governance. Roads are shredded, bridges have crumbled, and entire communities remain cut off, left to survive without food, medicine, or rescue. Schools lie buried, homes destroyed, and hope is fading fast. This is not just a natural disaster, it is a brutal consequence of years of criminal neglect. In the face of such widespread destruction, the government's silence is unforgivable and its failure nothing short of catastrophic.
A retired soldier in Udhampur in India's Jammu and Kashmir has sparked a quiet but powerful revolution, not on the battlefield but in the fields of his village. Turning to tomato farming after retirement, his hard work has brought unexpected prosperity, transforming barren land into fertile success. What's more inspiring is how his journey is motivating local youth to see farming as a future, not a fallback. This is more than just agriculture, it's a movement. Let's take a look at this tomato-led transformation. Have a look.
Bain village in Udhampur's Chinani area is witnessing a wave of prosperity thanks to an exceptional tomato harvest this season. With markets brimming with fresh produce, farmers are celebrating record-breaking yields that have transformed their economic outlook. At the heart of this success is Mohammad Aslam Bhatt, a retired Indian Army soldier who embraced farming in 2005 after completing his service. Beginning with tomato cultivation, Bhatt's dedication and innovation methods have turned his fields into a model of productivity. Over the years, he diversified into other fruits and vegetables, inspiring fellow villagers to follow suit. His journey from soldier to successful farmer not only highlights the potential of agriculture in the region, but also serves as a beacon of hope for unemployed youth. Bain's tomato boom is more than just a good harvest. It's a story of resilience, vision and rural revival.
ये तकरीबन अभी जो है 8 से 12 साल हो गए मेरे को इसमें काम करते हुए टमाटर में। हर साल मैं अच्छा मुनाफा लेता हूँ यहाँ में। अच्छे बीज हम जो है प्राइवेट से ख़रीदते हैं, हमें अच्छे बीज जो है हाइब्रिड किस्म के। और दूसरी बात ये है कि हमारी ज़मीन जो है इरिगेटेड है, यहाँ पानी हमें अच्छी तरह नहर का बंदोबस्त है, जिससे जो टमाटर की खेती हमें अच्छी मिल रही है। तो अभी जो है मेन पीक सीज़न इसका होता है मई और जून। जिस टाइम मई और जून में जो है गर्म इलाके से टमाटरों की कमी हो जाती है और पहाड़ों में तैयार नहीं होता है, तो उस मई और जून में हमें यहाँ अच्छा रेट अच्छा भाव मिलता है। अभी तो ऑफ सीज़न जा रहा है, अभी ख़त्म हो रहा है टमाटर, लेकिन फिर भी डेली बेसिस पे अभी भी हम 25 से 30 क्रेट जो है डेली के निकाल रहे हैं। देखो कमाई तो सर हम इसका एंड में ही पता चलता, हम जब इसकी एवरेज निकालते हैं तो मैक्सिमम अगर कम से कम रेट हो तो तब भी 600 से 700 रुपया एवरेज जो है हमारी ये क्रेट की 25 केजी का क्रेट जो है होता है, तो एवरेज जो है 600 से 700 रुपये निकलती है।
This year, Mohammad Aslam Bhatt's tomato harvest has been exceptional, largely due to favorable weather and supportive central government farming schemes. He credits the Government of India for providing subsidized seeds, drip irrigation systems, and essential farming tools that have significantly boosted his yield. These initiatives are part of a broader effort to double farmers' income by encouraging the adoption of modern agriculture practices. Bhatt's success reflects how targeted support and innovation can transform farming into a profitable and sustainable livelihood for rural communities.
का यहाँ पर बहुत सी चीज़ों की कमी है, लेकिन फिर भी गवर्नमेंट जो है इस पे काफ़ी ज़ोर दे रही है, डिपार्टमेंट सहयोग कर रहा है, जो कि हमें यहाँ टाइम से बीज मुहैया करती है, टाइम से खाद मुहैया होती है मिलती है हमें। उसके साथ जो है लोग भी अवेयर हो रहे हैं, साथ में लोगों के जो पढ़े लिखे बच्चे हैं वो नए तरीके से खेती करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन अभी कम स्केल पे अभी जागरूक हो रहे हैं आस्ता किसान। तो भारत सरकार का इसमें अच्छा योगदान रहा है, जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से मोदी सरकार जी की सरकार है उनकी तरफ से काफ़ी जो है वो आय दुगनी करने का एक जो है चला हुआ है, उस पे जो है लोग भी अमल कर रहे हैं और उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट भी इस पे काफ़ी ध्यान रही है और टाइम टाइम पे बेनिफिट भी लोग ले रहे हैं इस चीज़ का।
This positive shift will now encourage the young people of Jammu and Kashmir to consider farming as a smart and sustainable career choice. With robust central government backing, including subsidies, modern tools, training, and improved market access, agriculture is evolving into a promising livelihood. Today's youth, equipped with education and awareness, can transform traditional farming by adopting modern techniques and fully utilizing available resources. If guided properly, this sector can offer stability, growth, and self-employment, allowing the new generation to thrive while contributing meaningfully to the region's rural economy.
तो यही है कि अगर आज के टाइम पे तो जिस हिसाब से टेक्नोलॉजी है, तो यूथ अगर उस चीज़ में जाएगी तो टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से लग के तो आगे वाली जनरेशन के लिए बहुत अच्छे फ़ायदेमंद है, क्योंकि आजकल की जो जनरेशन है बहुत सी डिग्रियाँ लेके बैठी हुई हैं बट कुछ कर नहीं पा रहे हैं, बेरोज़गार हैं सबके सब। ठीक है, तो आज के टाइम पे अगर देखा जाए फार्मिंग में अगर कोई न्यू जनरेशन जाएगी तो उनके लिए बहुत फ़ायदेमंद है, क्योंकि आज के टाइम के जो बच्चे हैं उनके पास नॉलेज बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत से अच्छी वो दिमाग लगा के आप कहीं पे भी फार्मिंग में जा सकते हैं, तो आगे इसका फ्यूचर बहुत अच्छा है।
In conclusion, the success story of Ben village highlights the true potential of agricultural development in Jammu and Kashmir. This transformation wouldn't have been possible without the continuous support and vision of the central government and J&K administration, whose farmer-friendly schemes and modernization efforts have empowered rural communities. As agriculture continues to evolve, stories like these serve as inspiration for youth across J&K to see farming as a dignified, profitable and future-ready profession.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Pratiksha Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.